Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua Bahashem Rakah Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord of the chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Yakali, and I'm from the GMS Jamaica Kingston camp. And this video is about the World War III prophecy and anything else that the Spirit decides to bring out. Okay, so I was just on RT and I seen this. Russia doesn't rule out nuclear response to U.S. missiles in Europe. All right. So, of course, the article itself just out the gate, Russia, Europe, nuclear missiles, right? Now, regarding biblical prophecy, we know that America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. And as it pertains to Revelation chapter 17, America is Mystery Babylon the Great. America has allies, right? The whore is America, and that whore rides the beast, which is NATO, and those 10 horns, which is the European Union, right? And those are America's allies, NATO and the EU, okay? And so these are all important players regarding the World War III prophecy, as it says, the second woe has passed, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, okay? And so we get into it. Moscow reserves the right to deploy missiles with nuclear warheads if the US goes ahead with plans to station longer range missiles in Germany. Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov told journalists on Thursday. Ryabkov was commenting on a recent announcement by Washington and Berlin in which the two nations, America and Berlin, in which the two nations said the weapons could arrive in Germany as early as 2026. Asked about a potential Russian response to the deployment, he stated that no options are ruled out, including nuclear options. According to the deputy foreign minister, Moscow should measure its response to these types of steps on the basis of the combined power of all NATO members. This means that Russia should not impose any internal restraints upon itself, he said, adding that Moscow should have the broadest possible number of options. Any move on Russia's part would not be a threat to anyone, but rather the most effective approach to responding to changing threats. Ryabkov said he also argued that if Berlin believes that escalatory actions are justified, then Moscow is free to react in a way it deems the most appropriate. Okay? And what they've determined as most appropriate is that a nuclear response, right? The list of the U.S. weapons that could end up in Germany includes SM-6s, Tomahawk missiles, and hypersonic weapons, which are still in deployment, according to the statement. The missiles will only have conventional armaments, the document said. Okay. Commenting on the development, German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius told several local media outlets that the future deployment is nothing other than a response to the Russian threat of the Iskander missiles in Kaliningrad. Pistorius also called the U.S. weapons a deterrent, adding that we need to protect ourselves the best we can. He also claimed that the U.S. and Germany do everything to ensure that no escalation occurs. So you see what they're doing? Then they know the strength, the power, and the destruction that come from the nuclear missiles, ICBM weapons. And of course, what was it said? It says it in the scriptures, actually. No, but there's also a saying in the world that, like, I don't remember which philosopher or somebody, maybe it was like, I don't remember who, but they said something about, like, the next war, people will, there won't be anything left or something like that, or the people will, shoot, I can't really remember what it is. It's like at the forefront of my mind, but I can't quite remember. But yeah, but regarding the scripture, Isaiah chapter 9 And verse 5 it says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." So this World War III, okay, is going to end in fuel and burning of fire by way of the ICBM missiles. Okay. And so I believe, oh, it's coming back to me a little bit. It's like the philosopher, the person said that the next war that is fought, there won't be like another war that can be fought because it's going to be done on a nuclear level kind of thing. And so that's not something that's recoverable, right? But because of the strength and power and the mass destruction they know that can come, these countries are using these missiles as like a deterrent for other countries to, not make certain moves. But Russia is answering the call and they're saying, listen, we are going to have a response, which, this really is Matthew chapter 24, right? Because you read something like this and it says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So this is like a rumor of war, right? One of the many that we've seen over time, where we hear about these things, tensions, between these powers building, which is actually extremely important because this is Bible prophecy, right? These powers are supposed to be against each other, interacting with each other in these kinds of ways with very subtle threats, because this is what Russia is saying. Russia is basically, it's like a subtle threat, right? Russia doesn't rule out nuclear response to US missiles in Europe. So they're also not afraid, right? They're not afraid to put it out there that, they're not afraid to use a nuclear response. And this is a part of the Lord putting that spirit upon the Russians as it pertains to biblical prophecy, right? In the book of Ezekiel 38, right? It says at verse 2, "Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him." And that is talking about the Russians, all right? Gog and Magog, the originals, are actually from the tribe of Japheth, right? And they, at one point, when you look at the biblical map, right, you can Google it, Bible map, all right, you can see that that land that is now called Russia was once where Gog and Magog once dwelt. So now the Russians are dwelling there, and so they are the Gog and Magog spoken about here, okay? But the Russians are Edomites, okay, so-called white people, and say, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws." Turn thee back. Turn thee back into what? That spirit that they had before, that warlike spirit, okay? "And I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all then clothed with all sorts of armor." So they're going to go, so this is the military force, the military might of Russia, all right? And then it will also have even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. All right, so they will have allies as well fighting with them. A great company, great allies with them, many allies with them to fight with them against America and her allies, which is NATO and the state of Israel, the Israelis. All right, so the Lord is putting the spirit upon them. They have a spirit of they not backing down, right? They're making their enemies know clearly that this is what they're willing to do, right? But of course, there's no way possible that something can pop off at a very, like, where the destruction comes, because the destruction cannot come, right? Once the ICBM missiles are launched, then the destruction comes. That cannot come until the mark of the beast prophecy, which is a microchip, is fully made mandatory. All right, so while it is that, this is going on, right, and RT is reporting it, and then you have the whole Trump situation going on, you have the main thing, one of the main things happening, in plain sight, but most people aren't focused on it. And this is the development of this system to bring about this microchip, that mark of the beast. All right, the development of these central bank digital currencies, these digital identification systems, and all the rest of the system that they have to implement in order for it to function fully, correctly, properly. Okay, it is happening daily. All right, so I recently saw an article that Canada is starting to push and make and justifying very heavily the need for the central bank digital currency. And I saw another article about the central bank digital currency being a replacement for cash. And they are justifying it to be of the same function as cash. It's just going to be a digital asset. And so that digital asset is the new way that they're moving to make payments, right? A digital payment system. And that's what that microchip is. It's all going to be stored on the microchip, and then, that's the prophecy. So that is what all eyes should be focused on as well. The mark of the beast prophecy. Because none of the destruction, the World War III, etc., all of that can't start like on a very serious level. All right, Yahushua cannot return until the mark of the beast prophecy is fulfilled. That's how the Lord set it up. So yeah, man, this is what's going on. The Lord is most certainly stirring up the spirit of the Medes, and I'll get that and then close it off. Okay. It says Isaiah 13 and verse 17, behold, I will stir up the Medes, and the Medes here is referring to the Russians. Against them we shall not regard silver, and as for gold they shall not delight in it. All right, so the Lord is stirring up the spirits of the Medes. They're in a position of being on the defense. Okay, and of course they will shoot them. Eventually it will get to the point after the mark of the beast prophecy is fulfilled that they will aid in the destruction of America. Okay, and it says in verse 18, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, referring to the Edomites, shall be as when Yahweh Shemishai overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So it's going to be a judgment by way of thermonuclear fire. Okay, so that is what's going to be the judgment for America. Isaiah 13 lets you know what's up all throughout it. Okay, and yeah, man, that's what it is. Just another video coming at you with a little update regarding the developments towards this prophecy. So with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai, Bashim Kadesh, Shalom.